Some players are remembered not only for their titles, but also for the journeys they have overcome. Danilo is one of them. From humble football pitches in Brazil, he once stood on the brink of giving it all up, but then rose, conquered Europe, and became a champion on the grandest stages. And when returning to his homeland, he didn't just bring experience, but also continued an unfinished story. So what has made Danilo the man he is today? Outside of football, Danilo lives a relatively quiet and stable life. He has a family with 2 children and chose to live in Rio de Janeiro, in the Barra da Tijuca area, for convenience in training with Flamengo. His life is not too flashy, but still full of amenities and comfort after many years of top-level competition. Besides that, Danilo also spends time on personal projects. In 2025, he launched Voz Futura, a place to share thoughts and experiences about life and football. At the same time, he also participated in writing articles for a financial news site, focusing on topics such as investment and self-development. These activities show that he is gradually preparing for life after his playing career, with a clear and more mature direction. Danilo is not the type of player who always stands in the spotlight, but he is the one that every team needs. From a boy who once wanted to quit football, he persevered, conquered Europe, and won major titles at the highest level. What defines Danilo's value is not just the trophies, but the stability, discipline, and adaptability through each stage. Whether at Santos, Porto, Real Madrid, or Juventus, he always knew how to survive and contribute. Danilo's journey is not loud, but profound enough to inspire. A career built with character, not just talent. If you want to discover more stories behind the spotlight of players, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Danilo Luiz da Silva was born in Bicas, Minas Gerais, and began his football journey at a very young age. In the early years, he played for the youth teams of Tupinamba and Juiz de Fora, where everything was very basic. No glamour, no ideal conditions, only long bus rides, simple pitches, and a desire to work harder than others if he wanted to go far. It was in that environment that Danilo gradually attracted attention and later had the opportunity to join América Mineiro, where he completed most of his training. But this journey was not smooth. Upon joining America's U15 team in 2007, Danilo entered a very difficult phase. The club at the time lacked both finances and facilities and was no longer present in major competitions. Pressure weighed heavily on a young player trying to find his footing, and Danilo himself later admitted there were times he was very close to giving up on football. He stepped away from the team for a period, as if all faith was shaken. But then he returned. That seemingly small decision became the biggest turning point of his life. And the question now is, what happened after Danilo chose not to give up? The decision to return changed Danilo's entire destiny. At the age of 17, he was promoted to América Mineiro's first team. And from that moment, everything began to shift. In 2009, he made his professional debut during the final phase of the Campeonato Mineiro, a small step that opened a large door. It didn't take long for Danilo to quickly prove his worth when given a chance in Serie C. In 9 matches, he not only played consistently, but also played a crucial role in helping the team earn promotion. He was no longer just a potential talent, but a player who knew how to make a difference. By 2010, the real turning point arrived. In the Campeonato Mineiro, Danilo played 14 matches and scored 2 goals, notably a brace in the intense derby against Atlético Mineiro. Those performances not only earned the Best Young Player of the Tournament award, but also caught the attention of the entire transfer market. From an obscure name, he became a target for many big clubs. And although America wanted to keep him, the transfer deal still went through. A new chapter began, but the question was Danilo truly ready for a bigger stage? Joining Santos in 2010, Danilo quickly stepped into the light. He didn't take long to secure a starting position and become a vital part of the lineup. The peak came in 2011 when Santos won the Copa Libertadores. In the final, it was Danilo who scored the key goal, contributing to taking the team to the top of South America. That moment not only brought a title, but also took his name beyond Brazil's borders. That impressive form helped him get recruited by Porto for a price of 13 million euros. The early days in Europe were not easy as injuries hindered his progress, but Danilo quickly rose and took his place. He became a mainstay in the 2012 to 2013 domestic championship journey and continued to shine in subsequent seasons. In 2014, he was honored as Porto's Player of the Year, a testament to his outstanding maturity. After 141 matches, Danilo left Porto not only with experience, but as a defender recognized by all of Europe. In 2015, Danilo joined Real Madrid with high expectations after being pursued by many European giants. He started as a regular, but when Zidane arrived, the position gradually belonged to Carvajal. Despite no longer being the first choice, Danilo still featured in crucial moments, especially during Champions League campaigns. Here, he won the biggest titles of his career, including the Champions League, La Liga, the UEFA Super Cup, and the FIFA Club World Cup. That was the phase where he experienced the pinnacle of world football, despite fierce competition for every position. In 2017, Danilo moved to Manchester City to seek new opportunities under Pep Guardiola. He had notable moments, scoring and contributing to the style of play. But competition with Kyle Walker meant he couldn't maintain a steady position. Instead, Danilo was frequently used in various roles within the defense. Even so, he still won many titles with the team, including 2 Premier League titles. But perhaps, after all, what he sought was not just titles, but a place where he truly belonged. In 2019, Danilo joined Juventus and quickly made an impression in his debut match with a goal against Napoli. But his greatest value didn't lie in that moment, but in his long-term stability. Here, Danilo gradually became an important tactical piece as he could play flexibly in many defensive positions, from fullback to center back. Through each season, he continuously asserted his role. Not the most prominent star, but always the one keeping the balance for the team. When veteran mainstays left, Danilo was given the captain's armband, becoming one of the few foreign players to hold this role at Juventus after many years. In over 200 matches, he helped bring home many domestic titles and maintain stability on the European stage. This was Danilo's most complete phase, both professionally and in character. In 2025, after many years of playing in Europe, Danilo decided to return to Brazil and join Flamengo, the team he always held special affection for. At age 34, it wasn't a step back, but a meaningful new chapter. He signed a contract until 2026 and quickly integrated into the familiar, yet high-pressure environment. Right in his debut, Danilo was involved in the victory in the Supercopa do Brasil finale against Botafogo, winning his first title with the team. Not long after, he continued to make his mark by scoring in the Copa do Brasil, showing his ability to contribute even when playing in defense. The peak came at the end of 2025, when Danilo scored the winning goal in the Libertadores final against Palmeiras. That goal not only brought the title, but also helped him make history with the achievement of winning both the Champions League and Libertadores. A homecoming not just to close a chapter, but to affirm his value once again. Danilo's journey with the Brazil national team began very early when he was called up to the U20s in 2010. At the 2011 South American Championship, he not only won the title with the team, but also scored in the final, affirming his great potential. Success continued at the U20 World Cup that same year, where Danilo once again reached the peak and became one of the most notable young defenders. He debuted for the national team in 2011, but the path at the highest level was not easy. Injuries and competition caused him to miss major tournaments several times. The 2018 World Cup seemed like a turning point when he started, but injury once again blocked his path. Regardless, Danilo did not disappear. He returned, scored his first goal for the national team in 2019, and continued to feature at the 2022 World Cup. An imperfect journey, but enough to prove rare persistence. Off the pitch, Danilo has built a fairly solid financial foundation for himself. Upon joining Flamengo in 2025, he accepted a significant salary reduction, receiving about 1.5 million reais per month, much lower than his time playing in Europe. This decision showed that he prioritized personal values and career direction over pure income. However, Danilo's financial resources do not only come from football, he has invested in many fields, including a beach club and a digital content production company. These activities help him create an additional stable income stream and prepare for the future after retirement. Danilo's total assets are estimated at about 100 million reais, including salary, accumulated assets, and investments. This is not just the fruit of a successful career, but also the result of clear and long-term financial thinking.